But instead of just like lightly like moving it around, she was like beating it. Yeah. It was... What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Interesting Discussion Sometimes. Back here with the boys. We just got Haran, Christian, Taru. No guest this week. But the reason we're on this podcast is because I have such an important question for Haran.
Oh, for me.
What's your favorite fruit, Haran?
There's a reason. Wait. What kind of phone do you have?
Haran?
No, I don't know who the fuck you're talking to. Bro, I mean, you gotta address the person you ask a question to. You can't just like ask.
He asked you a question, and so I was asking a follow-up question.
Am I supposed to assume who you're talking to? Am
he asked you a direct question, and so I was following up. So answer his question.
I couldn't tell if you're interrupting harsh or just asking another random question.
No, it's not random.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so,
I have the S10.
So you don't have an iPhone?
Yes, I have the S10.
So it's not Apple?
No, I have the Galaxy S10.
Okay, go back to Harsh's question.
What was Harsh's question?
What's your favorite fruit?
I think my favorite fruit is probably grapes.
So not Apple?
Oh, because you don't have the cut though?
No, I have the S10, Christian.
So not Apple.
This is so fucking dumb.
Nah. Explain why you hate apples. With a hard
I don't hate apples. I don't hate apples. I hate myself.
Then why don't you get a fucking iPhone, you cuck? I'm tired of using Messenger. The fucking Messenger, every time somebody does a heart react, there's two different types of hearts. So
I said I don't hate apples, but I hate Apple.
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah, it was different. One is plural. It's not the company. I'm not an Apple fan. But
Haran,
I do like the fruit apples.
Since you don't have an Android, I feel like you're missing out on a lot of things at Stanford, because like Amrita's in classes at school right now, and she has a group chat with on iMessage with everyone that's taking their classes, and there's this person with the Android that's so out of the loop and doesn't know anybody in her class, and they wouldn't add her to the group chat to make it green. So maybe Haran people are doing that to you. Yeah.
Damn, that is unfortunate.
I heard that was Amrita's decision as well to not add that person.
Oh, definitely, most definitely.
I mean, she is a team leader, if we all know. But yeah, no, I mean, potentially. But also, no one's ever asked what phone I have here. No one's asked me. Let me clarify that. No one's ever asked me a thing here. So, so there's a bigger problem. But actually, that being said, today, I needed some help with like this homework set that we have, and after class, I was just like, I talked to this one guy that was sitting behind me, and I was like, "Yo, like, would you want to like compare answers?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then like, he saw that I had a Galaxy S10, but he still like took my number and like he texted me afterwards. So yeah,
it's hot.
I mean, that's not the angle I was going for.
So when's your first date?
I don't know. I already made the first move. I guess he should make the next move for being.
Haran compared answers with him, and he figured out that the guy was stupid, so Haran won't talk to him ever again.
No, he helped me a lot, actually. Shout out to Josh if you're listening by any chance.
Oh my god, so many Joshes. Yeah. So, could you explain the Apple thing?
Yes. The reason we started this episode. Basically today, after comparing answers with Josh. I came home and cut myself.
Josh is so stupid.
No, I came back and I was cutting an apple for the first time. Yes, I'm a fucking. How old am I?
25.
I don't know what you tell me.
Oh. I'm 23 years old and it's my first time cutting an apple. And so I cut it in half first, and I was like, okay, we're making progress here.
And then 2 apples.
I had like the inside pointing up, so I was trying to cut like the core part of it, like the shit that you don't like to eat or no one eats. And I like was trying to carve it out, like you carve shit out of a pumpkin, that kind of stuff. And I just pulled out with too much force.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
I pulled the knife with too much force, and then like I cut my finger pretty badly. I mean, at first I was like, oh, hopefully it's not that bad. And then 20 minutes later, after putting pressure and shit, I was like, oh, maybe it is kind of bad. But yeah, just bled out quite a bit. I realized that I had zero like first aid shit in my in my apartment. And it was like 5 minutes until the marketplace closed. So like I ran and like got some Band-Aids. Sorry, I had a brain freeze there.
Maybe you lost too
I
much
lost too much blood.
blood.
Yeah. And yeah, hopefully it heals quickly. But that was my first time ever cutting my hand. The reason I didn't want to like cut or like use a knife in the first place is because my mom has cut her finger so many times. So just like seeing that growing up, I was like, oh, like I'll never be doing that, partaking in such activities.
Yeah, because it's all on purpose, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just unfortunate because like I've been cutting like real vegetables and I say real vegetables, fruit, apple's not a vegetable.
Like
but I've been cutting like vegetables. I've been making meals and stuff, and like no bad shit's happened yet. But the one time I come back and I'm like, oh, let me just eat an apple real quick. That's when I cut my hand. You know, it gets you when you don't expect it.
Yeah, you know, life just finds a way.
Life, yeah, it's deep.
But I told Haran I would tell a story to make him feel a little bit better about himself. Probably
Nothing
about
will
like
make me feel better about myself. But carry
okay,
on.
maybe it'll
Yeah.
help relate to your situation. Maybe not your self-esteem. But I make breakfast every morning, right? And there was just one morning I was, as you say, you know, just going about my normal day, washing a knife that I was cleaning.
Oh no.
Washing a knife that I used.
Watching a knife. We love redundancy on this podcast.
I was
Anyway,
watching,
I was watching this
that I
knife that was
cleaning,
in the.
Anyway,
that
I
had
was
soap
watching this
on it
knife
because
that
I
was
was
in the
cleaning
process
it
of
because I was
being
washing it.
clean. Anyway, it was cleaned. And I somehow, so I had this like one of those hand brush things, like not a sponge. It's like one of those, I don't really know. There's just a brush really. That instead of,
But it's not a brush, but it's a brush.
it's got a handle, it's got bristles, you know, it's a brush. We had one in our apartment for a little while. And so instead of moving the knife, because you know that's a bad idea, I just was moving the brush back and forth and my hand slipped and I somehow got a cut underneath my fingernail, my thumb. And I actually had no idea how to clean it because I couldn't get to it.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So I just ran hot water over my thumb for like 5 minutes and it was still bleeding. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like it was a very small, like this was a really small knife. So it was a really, really small cut. Like it didn't hurt that bad. It was just like, I don't know how to handle the situation.
Yeah.
So I just put a Band-Aid over it, put some like anti-infecting shit on it, antiseptic. And I looked at it a couple hours later. I mean, obviously it stopped bleeding because I was still, you know, conscious and didn't lose all my blood. And but yeah, so it happens to the best of us. Just want you to know that.
Hey, Christian,
Just don't do it again.
It could be worse. It could be worse. We were hanging out with Amrita this past weekend, and she was telling us that someone she knows has, Harsha, what was it called? Hand, foot, and mouth disease or something?
Yeah. Or he
Yeah.
had it. Doesn't
Yeah,
have
he
it.
had it.
Oh.
And guess what happens when you have that disease? It's like, first of all, apparently it's like really rare, right? That's what
Mhm.
she
You
said.
bleed out of your hand. You bleed out of your mouth and your foot.
Oh, okay, it's not like an anime or something, but your
I don't
fingernails
fucking
fall
know.
off. Your fingernails fall off, like all of them.
Eh.
As in, like, it's just like raw skin or whatever underneath. Like that. That's just. It's just
Like
that.
That's kind of
leprosy?
cool. Wait, I want to look what it looks like.
It's not cool, dude. That like
That's
creeps me the fuck
weird.
out. Like it makes me like wince. I can't imagine
That.
not having fingernails.
You probably suck to use your hands for anything.
Yeah, you can't. Could you? Or would you
Yeah,
get would you get less sensitive over time? You think?
I mean, based off of my experience with having like half of a fingernail for like 3 months, it doesn't really change. I don't know. It feels weird.
Wait, this one says hand, foot, mouth disease just causes rash on the hands and the feet.
Maybe there's a small side effect or a chance
A
in
small.
which your fingernails can fall off. Don't search up fingers with no nails. That's
Hey,
disgusting.
you sick fuck.
Oh, very rarely people may lose a fingernail after having hand, foot, and mouth disease. So he had a
But-
rare case on a
Yeah.
rare disease. Damn,
Yeah.
that's fucking rare squared, bro.
Feel bad for the guy though.
Yeah, so but at least he doesn't have it anymore, right? Though, so
Yeah, he's cured.
How do we know? Just time.
Yeah, I've seen him before. Recently.
How did he get cured? You fucking.
Oh, I think just
numpty.
over time it just goes away.
They probably
Just
grow
like
back in
anything.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
but did he cure the disease as well, or is it just the fingernail problem?
He doesn't have the
I
disease.
don't know. Okay.
What?
all right,
Oh.
He doesn't have the disease anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Because apparently it's contagious, and I saw him like last couple weeks ago. So
Oh
I
my
don't have
god.
it.
Yo.
I'm not coming over tonight anymore, Harsha.
That was supposed to be a surprise attack anyway.
Yeah, but I will be coming under.
Oh god. Classic.
Anyway, Ron, don't let that negatively affect your self-esteem any more than it should, which is still a lot, but that's not the point here.
Yes.
Indeed.
One time in elementary school, I was my mom asked me to get the aluminum foil thing from the top shelf of the kitchen. So I got like a step stool, got up
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
fridge.
what
It was
now?
like really high up.
Oh.
Nothing.
Step stool.
Okay, got up on the step stool. And
What did the step stool do to you?
And I
Harsh?
opened the cabinet, and the aluminum foil thing was like not resting in the cabinet correctly. So right when I opened it, it like fell from there, and like somehow the lid of it opened, and it just cut like my finger like down the side, and it was bleeding so much. So I'm still
Was it worse
scared
than
of doing
mine?
that. Yeah, it was like longer and deeper, I think.
Whoa.
I don't know about the cut though. It looked pretty similar.
Why do you
Oh,
why do you
step
have so
stool.
many why do you have so many deep rooted phobias with like
Weird things.
appliances, like the iron, the aluminum foil thing? Like I don't know if
Yeah,
aluminum foil
that's
is an
all.
appliance,
That's
but,
all
like,
for now. Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Stairs.
There's
Yeah.
no other ones.
Wait, you have the
Stairs.
iron? Wait, I didn't even know you had an iron phobia. What?
Yeah, I guess I'll share that one too. For some reason in my preschool, they had an ironing, like iron. They had iron just out there that you could just practice
Oh wait, no, I definitely remember this.
ironing your clothes, and I was like, okay. And I guess I don't know how long it was on for before it was unplugged, but like I touched the hot part of it, and it just burned my pinky finger really badly. And I remember just crying so much. I remember it was like the worst pain ever, and then
Mm.
I had to go home, and I have like a mark on my finger where it happened. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or not, but yeah.
Wait, have you
So-
used an iron since then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I waited too long. I guess I could have used it a couple years before I actually like got around to doing
No,
that.
I mean that's fair. Like that's a pretty
Yeah.
traumatic experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll never be blocking a shot again. Fuck that.
But just do it with the other shoulder, when it's time.
No, he's getting that fixed.
Yeah. So like
Yeah, but
in
you
order
gotta
to like pop it
first
out,
to
you
to get it fixed.
hmm
How's PT going?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. They're the last time I went, she made me lay down and I would put my arm up in the air, and then she would just like slap it all over the place like this. And then the other PT was like, "Why are you slapping him?" But yeah,
Wait, why?
It's just
I don't know,
abusing
yeah,
you.
yeah, because she was like, "Don't let your shoulder move or your arm move while I move." it
Oh,
around."
you're like testing her
But
out.
instead of just like lightly like moving it around, she was like beating it. Yeah, it was.
Bless you now.
I was gonna say, like, aren't you used to that? But I think it's clear itself.
She's pretty gentle with my arm though.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
So speaking of apples,
When
I
were
have
we speaking of
another
apples again?
question. Don't be kidding. Okay, wait, I can redo that. So speaking
no.
of questions that we posed at the beginning, I have another couple questions that I could ask.
That's definitely
Because
worse
of
than
the
the other one.
How is that worse? I said speaking of apples, I have a question.
Speaking of just us speaking in general,
I like that better. Speaking.
Spoken.
You know all this is going in the episode, right?
Yeah.
The three transitions.
I'm building layers of comedy right now. I
Mm.
hope that entertained you if you're listening, which you probably aren't.
How many layers till it gets funny though?
Whoa.
Hey, that was funny, man. That was really funny.
That was supposed to be funny.
You fucking dickhead.
So my question,
Speaking.
Spoke.
so my question is, what is something you never thought you'd be able to do until you actually did it?
I have an answer.
Go ahead, Arsha.
Get my ears pierced. I never thought I would do that. I didn't think I was gonna do that even like the day I woke up that day.
I
But
don't
then,
think that's his question.
Well, yeah.
wait, why?
No, something
I
that
said,
you
what is-
physically, or not physically, but like you actually do, like you yourself. Like somebody did that to you.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
I mean, that's not my problem with the answer either.
Go ahead.
It's just a
It's a-
shitty answer.
the question,
Right.
the question what is something that you never thought you'd be able to do? I feel like you always thought you'd be able to get your ears pierced. You just never thought you would actually do it. You know?
oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, Turin, since you have the best answer so far, go ahead.
I don't have an answer yet.
Fuck.
Dan don't do shit, man.
I would say probably going back to when I was really into, or like I had a lot of time to do music and stuff, like being able to like make a full song from start to scratch with like just like nothing in the program, just like have it be blank and then have a finished product, like start to finish, like all by myself. So that's probably one thing that it seems like such a huge task until you learn how to do like the ins and outs of it. That probably that's what I would say.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, we're really just gonna brag about each other right now, aren't we? God.
What?
So we're just bragging about ourselves at this point.
Good.
Okay, go ahead, bitch.
I don't got nothing to brag about,
Okay,
bro.
I never thought I'd be able to cut an apple.
That's what I was literally gonna say.
Wait,
No,
why
that's
not
right.
Stanford? Why not
Yeah.
Stanford? You didn't think you were going to be able to get into Stanford, but then you did. And then you got into Stanford, now you're there. Stanford.
That sounds like a
Stanford.
It's like a
Stanford.
potion.
Stanford. Stanford.
Like a poem right there.
How you like that stanza? How you like damn stanzas?
You like them apple.
All four of them.
I mean, like, yeah, I guess Stanford, but like I was trying to think outside of like academics related. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
Make a 3-pointer.
It brings up a good question though. Like, how much do people like focus on their lives outside of like academics in school? Like,
what do you
or
mean, Chris?
sorry,
Elaborate.
fuck.
Academics in school, washing and cleaning.
I'm just really repeating myself repetitively.
Honestly, I didn't even catch that one.
outside of work and academics, my bad.
How
like-
much like? How much do you?
Their
like,
personality is like always like, oh, I did this at work, or like, oh, I'm doing this in school. Like, how much? Like, you don't have to like be like, oh, these are all of my hobbies, you know, but you should have some sort of personality outside of like, oh, I go to school here or I work here,
Mm,
you
Mhm.
know.
I feel that.
No, that's a good question. I mean, was that a question or a statement?
No, it was just something that I thought of like outside of, because like you were just thinking about trying to think of outside of academics, right? So like at our
I
age,
mean, honestly,
at least,
I think like academics has pretty much like defined my life. I would say. So
yeah.
far.
Would you say that's good or bad, or neither?
I mean, in terms of this question, I think it's kind of bad, but
Okay.
I mean, so
Enjoy.
far, I'm not against that being the case, but I do wish like I had more interest outside of like what I'm doing at school or what I'm learning at school,
Mm.
and I guess also like sports. Like I feel like those two things just like take up most of my time. I don't really like let myself
Mm.
get outside of that. But like in the moment, I'm enjoying it though. Like I
Yeah,
like
I'm not
having my
saying it's a
mind-
bad thing.
No. I'm just explaining my own thinking here.
No,
Like,
you're wrong.
like in the moment, like I'm okay with that, like occupying my time all the time. But like I guess like in those brief moments when you kind of just like have time to think and you're just like, damn, I really just did that the whole day today. Like,
Yeah.
what am I? And then I just fall asleep. It's like,
Nice.
like, it's not that much reflection, I guess. It's just yeah.
Hmm.
How about you, Harsha? I feel like you're similar
Yeah,
to me. In which we don't have
I agree
much.
with you, Ron. Yeah, I don't do much.
Not the
No, like-
thought.
No, but I'm trying to think like outside of work, things I actually do. It's not that much. It's mostly just like watch sports or something. Like relax because I'm so tired always. Which is something I should work on, I guess.
If you could, like, do you value your alone time outside of work, or like if you had the option, like every day, like after work, you could like go hang out with like some friends for a little bit, or like that? Like, would you want, like, do you like having days like after work to just like be by yourself out, like in your room, kind of thing?
Yeah, I do at least like a couple times a week. I wouldn't say I want to do that every day or see people every day too, because I think that would be too much.
Yeah.
But like even if I have free time at home and I'm not seeing people, it's not like I do much with it to be super productive on something.
But like, you don't always have to spend your time doing something, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be productive. You could just be doing something to do something.
Yeah, but it's not something that like is out of the ordinary, or something that I'm proud of. It's just life. Like yeah.
Is there something that you have always wanted to do, but you're never like, you know, you never had the chance, or you never thought was like a good time or something that you would be able to do now?
Not really. Nothing really comes to mind as of now. Like I'm not like sad about how things are going, but
Right.
like I'm pretty happy.
You really sounded.
I'm trying to convince myself. I mean, like, I don't know. I just look at work as just stuff I do on the weekdays, and on the weekends I try to see my friends and have a good time. And as long as I'm doing those things, then I don't really care.
It's a good outlook.
I thought of an answer for the original question.
Yes, going back to speaking of that.
Speaking.
Speak.
After my sophomore year of high school, I moved to a different high school. And back then I was, you know, really shy. And when I first moved there, it was like, I don't know, like the first week or two, I didn't really talk to anybody. I didn't make a friend. This was like basically that whole summer when I knew I was going to move, I was like, how the fuck am I going to make friends? But then I made one. So I was like, oh shit, I actually like can make a friend. And then like after that, I started like coming out of my shell and stuff like that. So, I guess like make friends or like being outgoing, that type of thing.
It seems like
Yeah,
a
Haran, you
personal
can do
attack. Fuck me. You know, I was listening back to Millen's episode, and like, remember that when he was like, talking about like how like, oh yeah, like being at school, like it was like pretty easy to just like make friends.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much of an attack that was on my character. I was listening back at it, I was like, God damn, what am I doing wrong?
It's different for a grad school though. Like
It really is, man.
for like freshman orientation, like they don't actually give a shit about teaching you about the school. They're just like, here are like 50 other kids in the same situation you are, you know?
Yeah.
Ron, you really just need one, buddy. Just one good friend. Not even a good friend, just one person to go hang out with one time. And then from there, it just, you're done. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I don't try to convert you to any weird religions or anything.
So, Josh, Henry, Zoe, if you're listening, invite my
I'm
man
in
Saran.
desperate- Yeah. Actually, speaking of me being lonely,
Uh-huh.
this past weekend, like on Saturday night, I pretty much had nothing to do. So I was like looking at things to watch, and I finally gave in to watching the new phenomenon.
Agamemnon?
Squid Game.
Mm.
I ended up finishing it like,
Oh my god.
yeah, I did watch it at 1.5 times speed. So
Oh,
there's
5?
Oh my god.
1.5,
1.5.
1.5.
Oh.
That's like the maximum one. That's the maximum on Netflix, I think.
1.5 is fine, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Just 'cause, like,
that
I knew
the
I
show has
wanted
a lot
to
of slow parts.
I wanted to get through it like as quick as possible. Like I don't want to drag it out. Not that it was a good show. I mean, if you are to watch it, I would definitely say you should watch it at 1 time speed to, like, you know, enjoy stuff.
I told Haran to watch it. I've only watched the first episode, so the fact that he's finished the entire fucking show is crazy.
But yeah, I was surprised. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did.
Why? Because they're Korean.
No, just because, like, I mean, I guess it's my first K drama, so I was expecting like a lot more drama. Yeah, but it was definitely like more on the suspense side, which I liked. Yeah, I think they did a good job overall. I do think the ending is kind of whack.
Yeah, I agree.
But also by that point, it was like 2 a.m. my time, and I was ready to go to bed. So I think I was just ready to let it pass. But yeah,
Yeah, I've also seen the first episode, and maybe the second one too. I liked it so far. So would you say it gets better or worse from there?
It gets better all the way until the end, in which it gets worse.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
agree
that's
with
what
that
I've heard. Is that like the last like episode and a half, kind of, or like leave it at a weird place? That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
There's one episode like where the game they play is so fucking nuts, like nuts in like in a bad, like it's crazy, like it's like it fucks your mental state up. I definitely recommend it to people who haven't watched it yet.
Hopefully by next episode, if not next solo episode, at least I finished it. I don't know about Harsha, and then we can have a full deep dive on why this show is so fucking crazy.
You know what's crazy?
Crazy.
I saw that white Vans, because those are the shoes that they wear when they have the Squid Game uniforms on.
Mm-hmm.
White Vans sales since Squid Game came out have gone up 7,800%.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Damn, Daniel.
yeah, I know. And
Dude, I
all
didn't
of
think
their
product
uniforms
placement
are.
looked like
It's not even product placement though. They didn't even put the Vans logo on there. You know what I mean? Like
People
it's just
saw
people
it.
were just
Yeah.
looking for goddamn white Vans because they saw them on the show. Like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Apparently, also the color teal, because that's their uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
That also like tripled in Google searches or something like that.
What?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, man.
But fucking janitor outfits are fucking out of stock everywhere
I have
too.
to,
Is that
I
the
have to
next
say,
thing?
like, I feel like these like K dramas and like a lot of these like Asian shows like that, like there's like the fan base region for these
It's
shows,
just
like
fucking crazy.
they're really they're like obsessed with like the whole like the dress, like what people wear, and like and like the whole like what's the word I'm looking for?
like cosplay.
I mean, I guess pretty much
Fashion?
it is cosplay, right? But just like the whole like the
Aesthetic?
ambiance, like I feel like like the aesthetic, like these shows, like the ones like you get like a fucking like a million Twitter accounts, like
Yeah.
like just like
Yeah.
devoted to these TV shows.
Mhm.
But
So that's
what I
probably why.
also will say about like the whole phenomenon
Mhm.
that is Squid Game, if you will, is that apparently I didn't realize this, but Squid Game was released in like
Mm.
100 something countries all at once at the same time. Like it was dubbed in
Yeah.
every goddamn language. So that explains why like absolutely fucking everybody is talking about this, because it's like anyone can watch it.
Like,
Which I feel like a lot of other shows like what's the other show that went like super crazy? I don't know, like Queen's Gambit, right? That was probably like the last Netflix show that went pretty
Mhm.
what do you call it? Widespread, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
viral. I feel like that could have been on the same level as this show. Or maybe not the same level, but maybe come a little bit closer to it if it was released in all languages as well.
what do you guys think is the best Netflix show of all time?
Like Netflix original?
Yeah.
I don't know enough Netflix.
It's got to be Big Mouth, right?
That's definitely in my top 3 or top 5.
I don't watch enough Netflix to like actually contribute to the conversation. Like I probably wouldn't be able to discern like which ones are originals and which ones aren't, other than I know that Big Mouth is and Squid Game, even though it was like written in like 2017, and like this dude shopped around the script for like 2 years until somebody picked it up. So like
Yeah.
I don't know what else are Netflix originals.
Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, The Crown, BoJack Horseman, Ozark, House of Cards, Mindhunter, Queen's Gambit, Black Mirror. That's a good shout.
Oh, Black Mirror is nice.
I mean, not the first 3 seasons though, or 2. I think it's 3.
Okay,
The first 2 seasons are on
Um,
BBC, and then they moved to Netflix.
gotcha. Master of None, Haunting of Hill House, Big Mouth, Narcos, Daredevil. Forgot about Daredevil.
That's in my top 3 as well. But I'm like
Um,
very biased. I love that show.
The list ended there.
I think
Hold on.
my top 5 are Big Mouth, Narcos, House of Cards, Daredevil. I guess it's my top 4. I don't think I'm people.
Haran, have you seen Stranger Things?
I've not seen Stranger Things. No.
Why
It's
you don't
definitely
want
not in
to?
the
or-
top.
What?
I liked it though. I liked the show itself. I don't know if it's like top 5 worthy, but I thought it was a good show.
It's a good show, but it's not. It's definitely not close to. I don't think it's nearly as good as Ozark or, fuck. I don't even know what we just listed, but it's not there.
I think I have to choose my favorite. I think I'd have to choose Narcos. I think I'd say Narcos. I think that one captivated me the most.
Hmm.
And then I think I'd say like Daredevil and then Big Mouth at 3rd.
What about you?
I haven't seen you either.
The new season's coming out soon. At Harsha, I know you watch it. You.
You dirty.
You
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, at least like the first season, but then after that, it's just like the same kind of thing, and
Yeah,
I
I
kind
don't
of
think
bored
it's a great
after.
show. I don't think it's a great
Yeah.
show. I think it's bang, and not a bit above average, but yeah.
Wait, so what's your guys' favorite show?
It might be Queen's Gambit for me. I don't know.
I need to watch
Like
that.
that show actually got me to play chess. Like I feel like that speaks a lot, you know? Like
Yeah.
I was actually really into it.
Who's the main act? Is the actress, right?
Yeah.
She's in Peaky Blinders too. I forgot her name though.
Carla.
You just made that up.
It sounds right to me. I mean it could be wrong, but sounds right.
Anya Taylor Joy.
That's
Yeah, that
pretty
sounds like
close.
Carla.
Wait, she was in shit. What?
He just said she's in Peaky Blinders.
No, not Peaky Blinders.
Oh, okay.
Queen's Gambit.
Emma, yeah, that's the one I watched.
No, her
It's-
Is
name
it
is.
a movie?
Oh,
Huh?
Is it a show or a movie?
It's I think it's based on what's that? I think it's Jane Austen. You know, like the writer, the British writer.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
She did like yeah, I think that was she wrote.
So is it a show or a movie?
Sorry, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Okay.
It came out like last year. I only watched it because my sister watched it. Or, like she it came out it came out on right before COVID. So they went with that straight to streaming shit. So
I see.
it was alright.
Did you guys hear about that lawsuit that Scarlett Johansson placed against Disney about the Black Widow stuff? And this was a while ago, but
Yeah, that's
No.
why she wasn't even she doesn't even voice her character in What If. They got like someone else to do like a
Damn.
impression for
yeah, Disney's ruthless, I heard. But basically, what happened was I think Black Widow is supposed to release like it was
it
scheduled
was like
to
June
release
of
like
2020, right?
yeah, like I guess right as soon as COVID started,
Mhm.
but obviously they didn't want to do that anymore because who's going to go to the movie theaters? So
Right.
Disney took all of the marketing and all that shit and put it like towards it releasing on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
But it turns out that Scarlett Johansson wouldn't make any money from all the streaming revenue. I think she would only get money from
Oh,
like the actual movie ticket revenue.
yeah.
So she was beefed, which is definitely fair.
Yeah.
She sued them, and then I'm pretty sure she won that case. I don't know how much, but
Mhm.
I bet you she got not a big bag because the movie didn't do that well.
It's more the principle.
I feel like for her, like, what's an extra like 30 mil, you know, like,
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine.
or like 100 mil, like,
I know she's
yeah, she
fine.
probably got so much money from all the previous movies.
Yeah.
She wasn't even that bad in that movie.
God damn it. Just on the tune like saying some stuff with like actual substance. He has to fucking say that.
I'm just kidding. All women are beautiful.
But that movie was still bad though, right?
True. Dude, I think honestly, it is up there with the worst Marvel movies. Honestly.
Worse than Thor 2?
No. Thor 2 is better. But I mean, sorry, Thor 2 is worse. But
Okay.
I feel like Thor Ragnarok at least made up for like how shit.
It redeems Thor.
Like yeah.
Mm.
But like Black Widow, like there's not gonna be. a
There's no
second
redemption.
one.
This is the last
Yeah,
movie.
there's no redemption. This is just fucking. It's just they put shit on a piece of like on a desk and then said, "Here you go." Like that's basically it. That was the handover.
I just still think it's stupid that like she gets a solo movie after like we know she's dead.
She's dead.
Because like
Yeah.
whatever like I haven't seen the movie of course, like I guess I can't say too much, but like whatever you build up in that movie like for her, and like maybe like there's like just like even at the end of the movie you're like, oh okay, like I can't wait to see what she does next. Oh wait, there is nothing next because she's done, like she is
Yeah.
finished on this in this universe. I feel like that takes away a lot of the what's the word I'm looking for, the appeal. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't release it before like Infinity War or Endgame or whatever, because like even Captain Marvel got a movie before Infinity War, and I'm pretty sure most people went to go see that to see how like what
It would
role she
fit
would
in.
play in Avengers.
Yeah.
So they could have just done that and boosted the sales that way. Like I don't know why they like Lord
I mean, I'm
knows
glad they
Disney
did
has
it
a
because
fucking
then we would
budget.
all watch Black Widow and also agree that it was shit and waste of money. So
Yeah.
good thing they didn't.
I'm so glad I pirated that.
You know what's interesting about that Avengers series? They
What?
broke up Infinity War and Endgame into two parts. Just
Where are you
like
going with this,
podcast.
Christian?
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Welcome back, guys. Haran has a question.
Wait, no, I don't know. I want to know what you think the question
Shut the
is.
fuck up. Ask the question.
So, on Friday night,
Mhm.
when I was less bored than Saturday night, but still a little bit bored, I was thinking, wait, I wasn't even Friday night. It was Thursday night.
No, it's Friday.
No, but I thought about this on Thursday. I just realized.
Oh, okay.
I was,
Does that matter to anyone?
Yeah, it matters to me, to the validity of the story.
Oh,
Anyway, so
shut up.
Thursday night, I was thinking to myself, who has the biggest sex appeal out of the four of us?
Biggest? Wait, what? Wait, is that the right word?
Yeah, biggest sex appeal. I think.
Gra-
I was
So.
the
gonna say
most grand.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it?
Wait, what does that mean? Biggest sex appeal?
You know,
Is what do you think it means? What do you think it means?
the biggest sexy guy. You know, the
I have
sexiest
such a
sex
huge
guy.
sex appeal.
Hush, can you define sex appeal for me in your own words?
in your own eyes.
Basically, if like a stranger was to look at us for who this girl want to have sex with,
Why does it have to be a girl,
More than
bro? What the
others?
fuck's wrong with you? It's 2021.
is that what it is?
I think.
yeah, that's
generally.
pretty much it in my mind. Yeah. Haran has an extremely nice fade, so I feel like that gives him a lot more points.
But this is like a temporary thing. It doesn't mean I'm always gonna look like this.
But I just grew a beard, so
I
maybe
would.
that gives me some more points.
That's the thing, though. Everything's so fucking like personal as it
Subjective.
comes to like, yeah, like, oh, this person might find this or that or whatever appealing. So like, but it has to. I guess the question is in general, you know, not
What
this
if we
one
just
specific
say-
person.
What if we just stop discussing it and we just say who's on our mind?
On 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Turn.
Haran.
Haran,
You didn't even say it on one.
I didn't
I'll
expect
give
you
my
guys to actually
reasoning.
say something.
I'll give my reasoning. Haran above 6 foot. Haran beard. Haran fade. Haran Stanford. Haran. I guess that's it.
Okay, you don't know he goes to Stanford by walking to him on the street.
Oh, this guy,
well-
he goes to Stanford.
Oh, to a stranger though, Haran looks like more like an ethnic guy. You'd be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then you see he's tall, has a beard, you know, and everything else Turin said.
Okay.
Oh, I
This is
thought
like
you were
when
saying,
you-
like, oh, that means he goes to Stanford.
Oh,
It's like
I
you
thought
come
you were
to.
way
the
different
glasses.
direction with that.
Oh, the glasses give it away. He's going to Stanford.
Oh.
But he has contacts though.
No, he's
I
about
do
to.
have-
When he's out with the ladies, he doesn't.
Wait,
wear
Haran, take off
glasses.
your glasses.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
been a while since I seen.
Uh,
Holy shit!
Oh my
I'm
God.
right. Yeah, Haran. Fuck yeah.
You cannot keep that in, bro.
They won't even know that I
so
took my
wild.
glasses off yet. It's just not.
He took his
Oh,
glasses
you
your
took
off.
glasses
glasses.
off? I didn't know that.
It's okay. You can sit
God,
down
man.
now.
Oh god.
Okay, Harsha, what did you also say? My name.
Yeah, same thing. Basically, what Tarun said.
I feel like
Heard
height is a
that.
big factor for most women.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also, I just think you're sexy, babe.
Oh.
I miss.
Oh,
the
and you're
days-
left-handed. You're left-handed. They'd be like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Mm.
Well, I know white
Maybe it
girls
was a
like
left-handed
left-handed
guy.
men.
Huh?
Won't people find like left-handed people weird?
Yep.
I do,
I
but
do.
many
as well.
okay.
women don't.
I am woman.
Speaking.
Speak. Speak, woman.
No, I have nothing to say. I said that.
I said Harsha because he has that fat badonkadonk that he carries around with him. It's just so juice
But like,
laden.
wouldn't like a woman be like intimidated? They're like, oh, I thought I'm supposed to have an
No.
ass in this relationship. He took
Yeah,
all
no,
of
but
this.
she could take it as a challenge, be like, oh,
Oh,
I see.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I like that. I like that attitude. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
booty competitions. That's what.
The couple that's always bettering themselves.
Mm.
Very progression based.
I said Trun because he presents himself well. Since he got that beard, he went up a couple levels, like he said himself. He's got a
right.
good aesthetic, I'd say. Yeah, I think
Nice,
that's.
man.
But then they get to know him, and then they're out. But the initial reaction.
It's all about the first impression.
The initial
And good thing
reaction.
for
is
Tarun.
Yeah, initial.
They come up to me. I'm just like, speaking.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, but they came up to you though. That's what we take.
Yeah.
That's all we're counting.
That's all
We're
we're
just counting if they
counting.
come up, not if they continue.
What are we talking about?
I knew you were gonna say. Anyway, yeah, that was what I was thinking to myself on a Thursday night. So
All by yourself in bed? Kind of weird.
you just added things that were not part of the story.
Am I wrong?
True.
Okay,
speaking.
so
Okay, so we just did this for a group of 4 guys here, right?
uh-huh.
But like say like you're doing like like a girl asked you this, right? And then she was
Mhm.
like, okay, how about me out of like my 3 other friends, like who's the most attractive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you
Yeah,
answer
yeah.
that like how you'd answer, right? But like, don't you feel like it's harder to say a girl is not attractive than a guy?
What?
Explain.
Because like I feel like girls like present themselves in a way, okay, they present themselves better than we do, right? In general.
Yes.
Okay.
So like
Mhm.
I feel like it's worse when a guy calls a girl ugly than a girl, or not calling them ugly, but like not attractive than when a girl calls a guy not attractive. Is that just me that thinks that, or you think that's like a
I
general-
get what you're saying, but also this is like as there's only one answer, right? So if you say like, oh, who is the most blah 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 out of the 4 of us, like you can only give one answer. So like everybody else
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, you still give one answer, but I just meant like I mean, I guess outside the context of this game, just like in general, like
yeah, but at the same time, that's just more. I feel as though men have to like the women are the selective ones. That's kind of my point that I'm getting at.
My point kind of goes hand in hand with Christian's a bit, in that I was just going to say that if you averaged out the attractiveness of all women that exist, it would be higher than if you averaged out the
Yeah.
attractiveness of all men. And so in that case, they have the power to, like Christian said, like choose.
Yeah.
yeah,
So like when a guy chooses, it feels wrong. So like your like sentiment behind the question is like a natural thing, but like I don't think it should be like bad to have a preference, you know? And
Yeah.
like in that
Yeah.
sort of like question realm, whatever, you know? But I mean, if you just go around and say you're fucking ugly, you're ugly, you're ugly.
Yeah,
there's
that was my
something
that
wrong
was
with
my
you.
that was my
That's
next
your
question.
follow-up.
Who you think is ugly? Who are you
No, I don't
talking
think.
about?
I don't think. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't find like many girls ugly. I just like
Oh.
I don't find them.
Oh, really?
I feel like there's
Good for you.
qualities-
Are you sure you don't think there's anybody ugly, Haran? Off the top of your head?
off the top of my head, no, I don't think so.
All right. I'll ask you every week. I guess on the same line of like perception and like those kinds of things. I mean everybody's, you know, I hate to bring it back to sports, but everybody heard about all the fucking Kyrie bullshit, this and that. I don't really want to get into all that because he's a fucking idiot. But
You kind of got into it, but okay.
no.
Carry
So
on.
like the general principle of it, as in like he now is saying he doesn't want to get vaxxed because of all the people losing their jobs due to vax mandates. That statement by itself, I don't even want to address.
He said
But-
that?
That's
Yeah.
he hasn't said that word for word like out loud himself, but that's what the reports are.
So that's where like all this Kyrie beef is coming from?
Yeah, he said he's not anti-vax. He like supports the vaccine. He just don't get it though because of what Christian said.
Basically,
Can you
he's being an
repeat
idiot.
What you said?
Yeah.
Can you repeat what you
Okay.
said?
So, for some context, Kyrie, basketball player in New York, in order to go inside an indoor sports facility, you have to be vaccinated, at least one of the shots. Kyrie has taken 0 of the shots, will not be able to play any of his home games in
Or
New York
practice.
or practice. The team said yesterday or whatever, if you're not vaxxed and like you're only going to play half the games, like all the road games, like just don't show up at all. And he's still not vaxxed. And he loses half his salary, which is like $16-17 million. And the
Where
report,
does that money go, by the way?
They just
Uh,
didn't give it to him.
players funds, escrow,
Oh.
this and that. Some of it's donated. Different topic.
Yeah, I just wondering.
So he hasn't gotten it, and the reports are that he's not doing it not because he's anti-vax, anti-science, but because he wants to represent the people who are losing their jobs due to vax mandates at work.
Bro, this is like this is like if Colin Kaepernick was a fucking dumbass or something.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to be some type of weird ass like
It's like woke
vigilante.
ass person.
Yeah, he's trying to be
Yeah.
on some woke ass shit, but he's stupid.
Kyrie's just fake woke.
Get vaccinated and get 17
Yeah,
mil.
I feel
Who gives a
like
fuck.
Kyrie just in general, like when like he like has like these press conferences, I feel like he thinks he's a lot smarter than he is.
Do you remember that one time he called everybody pawns?
Yeah.
What?
Mhm.
He was talking about like, oh, like we're all like super like smart, intelligent people, like basketball players or whatever in general. He was talking about like members of the media. You're like, oh, you all are just our pawns. He's just a fucking self-righteous little shithead. Like he does good things. Don't get me wrong. He's donated a lot of money to like charities, raised a lot of awareness for this and that, you know. But he's just so self-centered and all. But that's not my whole entire point. My general theme of this is like, so there are going to be people that see that, right? And are like, oh yes, Kyrie, like I stand with him, this and that. But my point really is like, how much should you let not athletes, but like celebrities in general form your values? Because like when you grow up, like a lot of that shit that you learn is through like family or school or cultural background or whatever. But like, at least in America, like celebrities, athletes, musicians, whatever, movie actors and actresses, they all get like pushed in our face so much, like in the public eye, that like you learn way more about them than you want to. So
Yeah.
at what point, like some of it you agree with, and like, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's worse these days because like a lot of these kids explore social media at a young age, so like they're
Yeah.
like getting these news I mean, like I learned a lot of values growing up, right? But I learned that like from my family and not like through like online stuff until I got older. But these kids are like seeing like stuff on the news about like their favorite celebrity saying this and that.
Yeah.
So like in that case, like yeah, that is a bad thing. But I feel like these days I don't really look at. I mean, I care for like the athletes I support and the celebrities I support, and just, like to see what their stances are. But like, I don't think like I form it solely based on what they think. I think if anything, like I kind of like look to see if if my thoughts and views kind of align with theirs.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like they need to be, because that would be selfish of me to like hold them to that standard. But like if it does, like it makes me feel better. I would say, like, I guess it's just like, I mean, we're all here for like affirmation of like what you believe, right? So
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I really like shape what I believe based on what these people say. But there are a lot of people out there that are quite easily like, oh, what's the word? Not duped. What?
Influence.
Influence, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, influenced by like what these people say and what they think. So yeah, I mean, it is dangerous when they have platforms like this.
Harsha,
I mean,
just
Harsha,
LeBron.
Yeah, you LeBron lover.
Not much really. I'd say like I'm really smart enough to make my own decisions or an opinion
are you?
based on like yes, based on whatever I learned like when I was younger from my family and whatnot, and then like Haran said, just see what athletes I follow like think about things. So I wouldn't say I would necessarily like learn from Kyrie's vax stance or things like that if I was a big Kyrie fan, but I think the things you can take from athletes is like the work they put into what they're doing is something you could take it, but not necessarily what they stand for.
I guess so. Like, I think as maybe not a regular athlete, but like superstars, and like Kyrie's probably like, he's not one of like the top 10 players in the NBA, but he's like one of the most like marketed probably and like, I don't know, notable players. And so like, I'm sure that like across the world, like people heard about like people that don't even follow basketball in other countries like are aware of like that sort of situation, right? And so that gives like a bad rep for a lot of the athletes in this country and like around the world, because like 95% of the players in the NBA are vaccinated. Like there's only 5% that aren't, but it's like the 5% that are like the loudest, and like all the people who are like all pissed off, like, yo, we're actually like super duper like doing a good job with all the vaccinations and all that kind of stuff. So it gives them a bad rep. But it's just a shame that like, I don't know, Kyrie's supposed to like, and people like I shit on LeBron a lot because I hate him, but like my point about LeBron all the time is like he's supposed to be like the role model of the league, right? And when he doesn't speak out about those like he does speak out about a lot of things, which is good, but he doesn't speak out all the time when it's necessary, because like I have not heard the words come out of LeBron's mouth to tell people to go get the vaccine, which I feel when you're at that stature, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like I swear I fucking read an article every 3 days about this dude just yelling. He literally called Andrew Wiggins an idiot like 2 weeks ago for not getting the vaccine.
Unrelated to the vaccine.
No. For getting the vaccine, not getting it. So like doing that kind of like not community service, but like using your platform well. You know, not everybody has to do it, but like if you do it in the way that Kyrie's doing it by not saying anything and just kind of, you know.
I do think we give LeBron a pass on this just because like he's done a lot. Like I think he's spoken out a lot like in his career. So like I mean it is bad that he hasn't like been pushing out. But at least like he's not going against the policy, right? Like he's just like doing his part. But Kyrie's been known to be like
a psychopath?
Pretty much.
The thing that's so stupid about this is like if he wasn't playing in Brooklyn or California, he was playing in like Philly, he would have gotten the vaccine because he supports the vaccine, and even if he didn't get it, he would still be able to play.
Yeah.
So it would like point. It's just fucking stupid.
Trade him.
No, because he said the report is if you trade, he's just retire. That's the thing. Like, there's no solution where he doesn't have to be like the center, like the one who makes all the decisions, even though he signed a contract.
Do you think Kyrie, if he retires right now, he's a Hall of Famer?
No.
Like not at all.
Maybe
I don't
like
think so.
third, fourth, fifth year balloting, but like, what is he's really made the All Star team like what 7 times, won one
Dude,
ring.
since 2016, what the hell is it? Or 2017, what has he done?
He made the All Star team like 4
Okay,
times.
bro, Isaiah Thomas made the All Star team twice back to back years. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, and he was with 2 rings.
Not that Isaiah Thomas. True. I don't want to hear Haran talk anymore. What do you think?
It's
Yeah,
Kyrie
I mean,
Hall
I was reading an article recently about how there's some like businesses that take advantage of micro influencers to promote
Mhm.
their product because these micro influencers, they like undervalue really like their influence, like their power. Like a lot of them have like, you know, like 20, 30K followers, which
Yeah.
like in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot, right? But like that person already has like so much power that they don't realize, you know what I mean? Like influencing
Yeah.
people. And so when you put this shit at like such a big scale, like Kyrie or LeBron, where they're literally probably everyone in the US like has heard that name or like has
Yeah.
like knows about them, you know what I mean? Like even if you don't agree with something, I feel like you have an innate responsibility to just not say something, like not say
Mhm.
something controversial.
Yeah.
Especially like at that level, bro, you have like a team around you, right? Like you
Yeah.
should have some people that like tell you like that aren't yes men, basically. Like, bro, you don't have to
Mhm.
like get the vaccine or whatever, but just don't fucking say anything about it. Just leave it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I guess that's kind of what LeBron did, right? But I mean, that's still not the best option. Like, I would just say do the right thing. Like, it's not that
Yeah.
hard. But if you were to like, you know, have some reservations about whatever the issue is, then yeah, just
Yeah.
don't fucking say some bullshit. Like, there's a reason why all these fucking people are making millions and millions of dollars outside of like their main career, right? Is because they push, like, they have so much power in like what they say.
Hmm.
So like giving someone like that like a you know a platform to spread, I mean, frankly, it's just bullshit. It's just fucking
Yeah.
pissing me off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially what Trump did too. I mean, like they fucking
Yeah.
gave him a pedestal, and he just pushed a bunch of goddamn bullshit. Now I feel like there's more racist propaganda and more like just negativity in general from that fucking man
Yeah.
because he had the most influence out of anybody on earth, probably really as president. You know, so
Yeah. The thing with like him and like Fox and whatever, like they're like there was like something that I was reading earlier in the week, and it was like Trump did all this like, oh, Corona is just a Democrat whatever that'll go away in like 2 weeks at the beginning, like he said that or whatever. But okay, so he got vaccinated before he left office, like fully, like was one of the first people really to have access to it.
right.
People who work at Fox News, they have a company mandate. Like, and they're like 90 to 95% fully vaxxed as a company, but they still go on the air every day talking about how Biden like is fucking up this country by doing vaccine mandates. You know? Like it's just so stupid to they just sensationalize every single little thing, you know? Like they just want people to be upset about something to take away from like the other issues.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how people can think like that. You know, like
Because people don't think.
like especially a news station. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, right? And they might be chasing like ratings or money or whatever the fuck. But
yeah.
like if
I
you
think that's literally what
own
they're
a fucking news company, you have like you own the responsibility to provide news in an unbiased way. Like that's what a fucking news
Yeah.
thing does. You know what I mean? Like
what
it's fucking
supposed
stupid.
to be, yeah.
It's all controlled by money. I mean, that's really
Yeah.
it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But hey, if Fox wanted to sponsor us to say some stupid shit, we wouldn't say no.
No. Speaking of shitty organizations and shitty shit, Haran, you're exempt from this because you already know fucking everything. But Harsha and Tarun, have you guys heard about the Saudi takeover of one of the Premier League clubs?
No.
Okay, so basically there's this group that's like funded by the government of Saudi Arabia, more or less. Like that's the gist of it. And they purchased one of the soccer teams in England
Mhm.
for fucking pennies to them. It was probably, what do you think it was, Ron? Like 300 mil? Was that it?
Yeah, something like, and like their
Their net
net
worth
worth is
10 bill or something like that.
no, it's more.
10. Oh, is it
Isn't
like
it like isn't it like 200 something billion?
Oh, I'm thinking of. Never mind. Yeah, you're right. Their net
You're
worth,
talking about
like
the club?
no, like the money that they'll have access to.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But yeah, so like Saudi, this fund or group of people, whatever, worth hundreds of billions of dollars, right? And so you can more like, I'm not gonna talk about how they're gonna go buy Messi, Ronaldo, all these fuckers, whatever.
What team is this?
This is Newcastle.
United, which is actually like a pretty they have like a big fan base. Like they have like somewhat of a history in back in like the 90s, but they've been pretty shite since then.
Yeah, and so people in England, a lot of them, and like Newcastle fans are like really happy because they had a shitty owner before who like ran the club down, this or that. But like if you look at it deeper, like this Saudi group, like because they're pretty much the country of Saudi Arabia, right? Like they're responsible for a fuck ton of like human rights abuses and like what's it called? Like implementing like a bunch of anti women's rights laws, LGBTQ, like all that kind of stuff. And so like yes, it's oil money, which is whatever in sports. That's one thing. But like this is also like people see it as dirty money, but people will forget that so quickly because it has to do with like, oh, my soccer team is going to be like so rich and we're going to have access to all this money or whatever. So like, I guess my overall point is like, at what monetary value do you like just say fuck you to your morals, I guess? You know, like I don't have like the privilege of being like, oh yeah, you know what? I would kill a child for like $200 million, you know, because I do it for 45. But
dollars or million?
But like, but you know, like, do your morals have a price? I guess is my question, because everybody wants to think like, oh no, like I'm always gonna stick true to like, you know, what I believe. But like deep down, like there has to be something. I'm not saying you have to say it because like people come out of nowhere with like $1 billion to like fuck you over, but you know, more introspective question, you know, like do morals have a price?
I would like to think I wouldn't have a price, but
yeah,
everyone has a price. Yeah, I mean, like you can't. But that's why I'm saying like we're still on the come up, you know. Like we didn't.
Yeah.
We're not rich. We're not like famous. We're not any of this stuff, right? But like somebody like Kyrie,
yeah,
he been had this stuff, man. He has enough money to live the rest of his life and like his kids' lives and their kids' lives. Fine, like he's set up for whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
So like at that point, it's not hard to do the right thing. In fact, I feel like it's harder to do the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
Just get the vaccine, dog.
It's so like crazy to me that the vaccine became widely accessible in April, and that was 6 months ago, and we're still talking about like people just like being stupid about not getting it.
Man.
Like I understand everybody has their choice, and like there may be certain cases where it might not be for one health reason or another, but that's different. Like if you understand,
that's different from like the majority of the unvaccinated.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that like there are very specific cases where not getting it is okay for you. Like it would actually make you more at risk for it. But in the general scheme, like I just don't understand how you can see the millions and millions of people that have died from this disease and are just like, you know what, I'll take my chances and like risk not just mine, but like the people around me and like,
yeah,
it's all just privilege, bro. I mean,
yeah,
all these fucking entitled motherfuckers here in the United States don't think of like anybody outside of this fucking country, bro, or even outside themselves, man. So many fucking countries still don't have the vaccine like readily available, right? Like widespread.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. They should have just like made enough where like you could like say in a thing like opt out, and if you opt out, then it gets sent to somebody overseas that needs it.
Yeah.
Instead of they're all fucking sitting here
being a waste.
Fucking,
they're like
wasted.
spoiling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
literally spoiling. Like they're asking. Yeah, it's so fucked, man. Ugh.
Let's just take it again. You know, make sure it goes to. But yeah. weekly go get vaxxed talk that we have on this podcast.
Like going back to the Newcastle thing, like I think it's tough when you're like a fan of a club because first off, like you're a fan of a club. You're not like you are like emotionally attached to this club, but like you're not financially attached to this club. You're not like certain things attached to this club. It's just like you support them, right?
Yeah.
So I think for like if it was a big team, like if it was like one of the top 4 teams, like your Manchester United, your Chelsea of the world, like and if they got overtaken by these owners, I think there'd be more like I think it would be like unanimous around this, like the fans saying like this is not okay, like we don't want to be winning like this. But like for Newcastle, where in like the last 20 years have been just mediocrity for them.
Yeah.
And like back in the 90s, they were challenging for titles, they were challenging for cups, and like I know that this is probably not like what all of their fan base wants, but I think in the moment, I think they're just like all like in the moment, like they're all just like thinking, yo, this is our first chance to like really get back in that top 4 race, get in that Champions League, get that Premier League. And like, I guess it's like a means to an end. And I think if like these owners are still here like 5-10 years down the line and they have like a trophy, I think then they might like start to think about it. But I think right now, like in like initial reaction, they're just like,
nah, dude, they're all going crazy. They're all so hype about it because they see like
I don't even blame them. I don't blame them.
I mean,
I blame the Premier League for letting it happen.
Well, it's not just the Premier League. It's just like the governing, like England.
Yeah,
like they are, because they want to keep a good relationship with Saudi Arabia, they didn't release like the actual monetary description of what happened.
Yeah.
Like
definitely some shady
the
shit.
government itself is like trying to hide over it just so they can keep a good relationship with a country that provides them a lot of like good, like pretty much just oil and money, you know?
Yeah.
So it's another like question of morals, I guess, you know, like, yes. Okay. Like for example, your club is owned by American owners who are across the pond, as they say, you know, and who aren't like there day to day, whatever. My team they were owned or like given money by the Spanish government, and pretty much the government was just like, hey, we're just going to make this team better than every other team. So like in Europe, I mean, it happened in America too, but like it's a thing where like money just somehow finds its way into your club. But I guess when you know so much more about how things go on nowadays, like you're way more privy to like, oh, this is the dark shit behind it, you know?
Yeah.
So, but they are my new Premier League team.
I'm a Newcastle United fan.
But be interesting to see what happens to them.
Speaking of shady shit, I'm just mad. I'm mad at because the John Gruden recently. If you guys didn't know. Yeah, like put out some really racist, homophobic, a bunch of just bad emails. Connected to my football team,
the Washington football team. And honestly, Gruden. I never like. I always thought he was like a little sus, just like you know the way like, his demeanor on the field. Yeah, he's just a weird dude. But outside of that, just like. The fact that ESPN have been covering this shit like 24/7.
See, that's what I was confused about.
And he worked at ESPN for like
while he sent the emails
10 plus years. While he sent these emails.
Yeah.
And ESPN have like pretty much not really like said anything about like how like they were like his employer at the time. They kind of just like said like just been like attacking John Gruden. Rightfully so, they've been attacking John Gruden, but they haven't really taken accountability on their for it. And then like today, it turns out like one of the ESPN like correspondents, Adam Schefter, was like also like in like he was also like in correspondence with like John Gruden, person John Gruden's talking to that was in the Washington football team. So like I feel like there's like a lot that they have yet to uncover, and I just feel like it's just a lot of shady shit in the background. And John Gruden's like the first one to fall, and like I think more stuff is about to come out.
There's two things. So like this got out because somebody wanted it to get out.
Yeah,
like somebody either in the league or whatever, like. You're right.
Or the Raiders.
Nah, it wouldn't be like his own team. But
wait, how does his contract work? Does he get the money or?
No, he resigned. So no.
Oh shit! Maybe it was the Raiders.
No. So either like there's people further up in the NFL who are just trying to make people look at Gruden and be like, okay, now we don't, because like there's a big thing about them releasing the other 650,000 emails that they have on this file. Which they're like, oh, confidentiality, this and that. Like, they don't want to release them. which means that there's more shit in there, pretty much. Like,
yeah.
it's just they have this like veil of like, if you don't know, you can't blame us, you know. So it's But the other thing I want to say is, remember when Frank Caliendo, that guy who did all the like Gruden impersonations?
Mhm.
I'm hoping I'm gonna reach out to him on Twitter. I'm gonna ask him to just read out the emails in Gruden's voice with all the racist slurs and everything, just for a good old time's sake, because nobody's ever gonna hear from this guy ever again, bro. He's fucking like there's canceled and then there's mega canceled, and
He's done.
Yeah, it's
And
funny.
like in his apology is like, I'm sorry to have hurt anyone, bro. Like, what do you mean I'm sorry to have hurt anyone? Oh god.
There's so much more shit about. I've been watching. Literally, the last 2 days have just been Kyrie and John Gruden, and my mind is just fucked about how stupid some of these people are.
Yeah.
Before we end, Harsha will conclude us.
Yeah, I was thinking about something the other day. So the question I wanted to ask you guys was what's the dumbest thing you believed when you were little, like without anyone telling you? Like you just thought this was true until you grew up. So I'll give you guys an example of what I thought. I remember that I thought this when I was like 5 or 6 or something. Because you know how old movies are black and white? Like, I mean, couldn't have color, right? So I was watching them, and when I was younger, I thought that life when my parents were growing up was just black and white.
I thought you were gonna say they only made black and white people. I thought that's what you were gonna say.
No, I thought just like they couldn't see color until now.
They invented color. Damn. Huh?
I have like a it was pretty traumatic at the time, but I guess it's kind of funny. I don't know if I shared this on the podcast before, but basically when I was growing when we were like young, I had a party in my house, and I think I was probably like 6 or 7, and like it was just like a family friend group, and like their elder cousins came to our house, and they're like probably 14, 15. Anyway, there's this website called Peter Answers. And essentially how it worked was like you would ask a question to Peter, and then like Peter would spit out the answer. And this whole time, basically, like, and basically the whole concept is like you can trick your friends by saying like, oh, like Peter knows all these things, and like you would like ask a question to Peter, and then like the person that's like typing it would also be like, oh, like what's the answer? And then you tell them, and then they would tell Pete, like they would type it in, and then Peter would spit it out back, right? Yeah. But I was young, and we were all young at the time, and like we were like saying like deep like stuff, like not deep, but just like, you know, like, oh, who's your crush, or like or like what's something you've done and like no one knows, kind of that shit. And like this guy Peter was saying everything, and like to the point where like we were all like just like mentally freaking out, like half of us were crying, like screaming, and it was really bad. And like I believed it until like 4 or 5 years later, like I saw them again, and they're like, oh yeah, we were just fucking with you guys. And I was but in the moment I was very traumatized, I would say.
Oh, one more thing before you guys go. Someone told me like around that time, maybe when I was like 7, someone told me that Playboy was a site for boys to go play like video games, like games for like kids, and I went there. I was like, what the fuck? He was right.
He was right.
Mine isn't really like that, but mine's probably worse. Because okay, so for those that don't know, like I'm an only child with a single parent who's a mother, right? In elementary school, I had not yet realized that like in your boxers, like that hole is like to go to the bathroom. Okay. So, and I had never used a urinal before. Do you understand where this is going? Instead of like, you know, making it work, just fucking drop your pants and just piss.
Hey, respect. Wait, so then how did you realize?
I think they were just like, you can't do that. And I was like, how else am I supposed to do it? It's not like they showed me.
Oh, so you gotta say.
So, you know, I figured it out eventually. But I think when I made that eureka moment, I was like, oh, that's why I got kicked out of the bathroom.
That's pretty funny.
So those of you who don't know, I don't know how many that is, but if you're not realizing, don't put your pants around your ankles when you go to the urinal.
I don't have any, but I have a couple funny stories from a podcast that I used to listen to that kind of relates to this question. So, like, the first one was that you know when you look at the sun and you kind of like have that spot in your vision.
Mm-hmm.
So in the podcast, he was explaining that like when he was a kid, his older brother told him that if he looked at the sun and he saw that spot, the spot would lead him to treasure.
Oh my
So,
god!
so he like looked at the sun for like hours outside, and then like would walk around and like
Oh my
try to
God.
find the
The
try to
treasure.
follow the dot. But he said
So
he said
fucked up.
eventually like the dot would disappear, and he thought that meant that he wasn't good enough, so he'd keep looking at the sun. And then after like the end of the day, his mom came home or whatever. She's like. She like saw this dude, like this kid, like half blind in the fucking yard, just fucking loopy as shit, walking around everywhere doing nothing. I thought that was the funniest fucking story ever.
That's actually
Fucking
hilarious.
toxic as hell. How did the brother come up with that? I don't know.
I don't
there-
think he
actually-
expected to be like for him to go that far
Yeah.
with it though.
Actually, there's another story from that same guy. Clearly, this dude's older brother is fucking maniacal, bro. So
Yeah.
one time they were playing a game to see who could put their fingers closer together, and at one point the older brother was like, "Wait, stop! That's the closest anyone has ever gotten their fingers together without touching. Stay right there. I'm gonna call the Guinness Book of World Records. Don't move." And apparently he stood outside for like hours trying not to move. While the,
my
while the
God.
older brother was just inside. He just went back to go play video games and watch TV.
Oh my.
This kid's an idiot though.
Yeah.
That's funny though.
But there's another story that relates to Christian's thing, which is
Oh,
that
no.
when this is a different guy, but he was telling a story about like how he like learned to like piss at a urine, all that type of thing or whatever, right? And so like his dad taught him like from a young age, like like when you're done pissing, like you do a couple shakes so that you can get rid
Get
of
all
the
that
last
out.
few drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, when like as a dad would say, like when you're done pissing, like do a little do 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 like whatever, and like
Oh,
like,
you told
shake
I
it.
heard this,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so he would do the do or whatever, right? And then like 20 years later, like this man's is probably in college or like I think out of college at this point, right? He goes somewhere with his dad in which like they were in like stalls next to each other, whatever. And he did the do, and then they came out and his dad was like, "No, Chris, you don't have to do that." He's like, "Oh." He's been doing the do thing every time he pissed for like 25 years.
I thought you were gonna say like they said it together, like in sync.
No, that'd be insane.
Look at each other.
Dude, if I was his dad, I think I'd cry, bro. This motherfucking kid's stupid as shit. Oh my god.
Hey, no, I'll be happy, bro. He really
Made a
internalized
lifelong.
what I told him
Yeah.
20
That
years
one to
ago.
heart. Are you gonna teach that to Harsha?
No. Imagine like going to the Tots bathroom with all these people there. You're just saying it.
Yo, that's bars, dude. Yeah. All right, you guys know what to do. Hit that like button, do the do, and
You're gonna start the next podcast with that, true?
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh. I would just like to break some news that Kyrie Irving went on Instagram Live like an hour ago and pretty much confirmed everything that I said that was reported. That he's not anti-vax, just anti-mandate job, whatever bullshit. I don't want to give this man any more airtime, attention, whatever. He's a fucking moron for what he's trying to do. Anyway.
Oh.
But, you don't have to worry about us selling out, at least not yet. But for now, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you head over to our Instagram at An Interesting Discussion. make sure to head over to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. Anchor has an aggregate of every streaming service that has our podcast, which is there's like a dozen of them. You know, you want to send us an email because you're a boomer, you can do that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we can't wait to see you guys next week with a cool guest. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.